Okay, so we've got a lot to talk about today. First of all, I want to talk about this thread on Conspiracy No Poll, which has a surprising number of very thoughtful, insightful replies to do with what happened to conspiracy subculture over the last 5 or 10 years. What the hell has happened here?
What the fuck is happening?
I want to talk briefly about the video that I published yesterday called Marry Your Cousin, and unsurprisingly, I think the point of this video may have been lost on some people.
These idiots in our truth community.
And then I want to talk briefly about Movie Magic and this podcast, which is available right now for free. This took me many hours to put together because there's lots of clips from different people, many of whom you would have heard before. And it's one of the literally hundreds of pieces that I have published publicly over the years. This is stuff that does take me a long time and a lot of effort to put together. And some people appreciate it, and I'm happy about that. But there are other people, and all they do is complain. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. I've spent an hour or two preparing this, and then an hour recording it, and then several hours editing it, and I publish it for free. And these people will still come and complain. And in my opinion, I think it is because they are scum. They are trash, they are flotsam and jetsam, and we'd all be much better off if these people disappeared.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
JLB, you can't talk about people like... Yes, I can talk about people like that. They're scum. What do you want me to say?
Guaranteed 100%.
Now, anyhow, I published this thread on the Conspiracy No Poll subreddit yesterday, talking about how Above Top Secret is down, and maybe this time it's gone for good. Now, Godlike Productions is still going strong. However, I don't know if you guys have checked that place lately, but the noise to signal ratio is not very good, which is to say there's a lot of dirt and not a great deal of gold. And I'm not saying this to criticize the Godlike Productions forum, I'm just saying it's bizarre how much absolute nonsense is getting posted there on the regular.
Oh, absolutely.
But the point is, it is still there. Then you've got places like Project Avalon. They're still there, but there's not much traffic. Conspiracies.win, almost no traffic, which is a shame because I like the general gist of what they're trying to do there. There is a conspiracy subforum on Debate Politics, which does get some traction or some traffic. But my question was basically, do you know of any other conspiracy or alternative type forums? And then I explain how it seems to me that forums in general, not just conspiracy forums or alternative forums, I mean forums in general are dying a slow but steady death because people seem to prefer Facebook groups, Discords, Telegram groups, etc. And then also the political polarization over the past decade or so has certainly taken its toll. Once upon a time, conspiracy wasn't a right-wing thing. Now, especially for younger people or those who've only been involved in this corner of the internet for a short period of time, that's going to sound hard to believe. But once upon a time, if someone was a conspiracy theorist, it didn't mean they were right-wing or pro-Trump or anti-Hillary or anti-Kamala or anti-Barack or anything like that. They might be, but they might not be. It wasn't necessarily a political thing, which sounds crazy to say that now in 2025. But the point is, people who believed in aliens or advanced secret technology that the government might have, or that there were secrets under the pyramids, or that the elites had an agenda to eventually put microchips in people. Any of these kinds of beliefs, just because someone subscribed to these ideas, didn't mean that they were pro-right or anti-left, or pro-Trump or anti-Kamala. You get the point I'm trying to make. Some of you guys know this because you were there at the time.
Okay, so what's your point?
But anyway, the idea is that this politicization and polarization, particularly in America, but really the whole Western world over the last 5 or 10 years, this has taken a toll on the general conspiracy subculture. In the sense of, for example, suppose you have a conspiracy forum, or a conspiracy subreddit, or a conspiracy community of some kind. Well, over the last 5 or 10 years, a lot of those people will have drifted right, others will have drifted left, they'll start infighting, and then the community falls apart, whether directly or indirectly. That's the idea.
I agree completely with you. 100%.
Anyway, so I continue that I'm sure there are other factors and drivers involved in all of this, but I think these are some of the main reasons why the conspiracy forums are going the way of the dodo. And by the way, just in case my truth uncle Crazy Dave J is listening, I don't know if there ever was a dodo bird, or if it went extinct. I don't know if nobody died, nobody got hurt by some weird looking bird in New Zealand.
Dodo, stand up! You are no longer extinct.
Now, if you go through some of the comments that have been left, I have to say how impressed I am by some of the ideas and the insights that are shared, to the point where I'm tempted to turn this into one of those podcasts I sometimes do. Once every few months, I'll do a podcast where I read through these comments on Conspiracy No Poll. There's a lot of good ones here. From Blitzer, he's our resident normie over at Conspiracy No Poll, but he's usually polite. Clearly he's intelligent. He's just one of those complete scientism believers, which is a shame, but, you know, people have their faiths. It's like the flat earthers, man. So long as they are relatively polite and civil, okay, they have faith in flat earth. It's not necessarily a problem. Same with the scientists and believers. So long as they're relatively polite, not an issue. Sometimes they have good things to share.
Sure, I get it.
The Panic Master, this was a good comment, this one. Not another scientist. Anyway, you can see here, if you're just looking on the screen as I go through this, a lot of detailed, thoughtful comments. I recommend you go and check this out if you're interested at all in conspiracy or alternative or so-called truth, the subculture, the ideas that people have and what's happened to this place and maybe where it's headed. There's some really good stuff in there.
100%. 100%.
And if you do take the time to leave your own thoughts, it might turn up in the next JLB YouTube podcast thing that I sometimes do. Now, I want to move on to this video that I published yesterday, and it only has 250 views or thereabouts. It does have a few comments, some interesting comments, I have to say. But unsurprisingly, it appears as though some people have missed the point or the points that I was trying to make here. What I'm saying is, I don't know if these consanguineous relationships and the offspring lead to genetically redacted children. I don't know. But a lot of people seem to believe that that's the case. And how many of them have taken the time to look into what is the data on this? Because my thing has been, since I got involved in all of this back in 2014, my thing has been, okay, here's what I think is the case. Where did my opinions come from? Is there other evidence? Let's do some research. If it turns out my new conclusion is different to my old belief, okay. I've just deprogrammed myself. Okay, no problem. In fact, if anything, this is a good thing. Because we were programmed with so much bullcrap by school and movies and TVs and society, you get the idea.
Guaranteed. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And there were a lot of people with this attitude back in 2014-15. That's one of the reasons why Flat Earth did become so popular, because at the time there were people who were like, okay, probably the Earth is not flat, but I haven't really spent the time investigating what is the other story. I'll look into it with an open mind.
What's wrong with that?
And it was the same with dinosaurs and evolution and atomic weapons and all the rest of it back in 2014, 15, 16. That was a golden period because there were these people who were like, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. I'll check out the other side. And it seems to me that over the past 7, 8, 9, even 10 years, there's been this gradual lurching towards dogmatism where now you have people and their minds are completely rotten with this flat earth mind virus.
DJ's gone too far when he calls me a homosexual.
Or their minds are completely rotten with this idea that Angelina Jolie is a man and Brad Pitt is a woman.
I know I get made fun of when I just throw it out there that Trump has feminine qualities with the little pucker lips and cute face. I'm just throwing it out there because we talk about androgyny all the time.
So whereas they might have gotten into these things open-minded, okay, I'll look at the other side. Okay, fair enough. For some people that was enough. Okay, now I know where they're coming from. I agree or I disagree, that's it. For some people, they never got off that train. They kept going all the way over the cliff. It's a really sad state of affairs, Jerry.
It's sad, Jerry. It's a sad state of affairs.
But my point is that this ties in with the original reason why I was interested in this corner of the internet 10 years ago, because there were people saying, okay, here's what we think we know. Let's go and look at the evidence. Objectively, dispassionately, without bias. And so anyway, my point is I need to go and read some studies on this and find out to what extent, if any, are the people born to parents who are cousins, first cousins, to what extent are they more likely to be redacted, genetically redacted? And if it is a significant amount, the next and obvious question is, okay, why would any sane, thinking person want these kinds of people flooding their countries, which is, of course, the case in the West?
Oh, absolutely.
But on the other hand, if it doesn't lead to a significant increase in the rate of genetic redactedness, then why have we been led to believe that it is such a problem? These are very simple, straightforward questions, folks. And once upon a time, some people did appreciate the idea of, let's ask the questions, let's look for the evidence, let's think through it. People seem to have become very dogmatic, very certain of themselves, very quick to anger and argument over the last few years. Not their fault, in my opinion. They just spend too much time on their screens and in their little echo chamber communities. And people seem to have lost the ability to think, okay, let's take a deep breath here. Don't need to get mad or angry or sad. Let's just look at the evidence and go from there. There was a really cool comment left by Dirty Benny who says, love your artistic use of clips in these videos. Thank you very much, Dirty Benny. Here's a few more clips you might appreciate.
There's a lot of foolery and fuckery afoot. Yeah. Under pressure. And that is the name of the game, honey.
Yes, those are some of the recent ones I've been putting together for my little soundbite file, which now has well over 1,000 soundbites from people like Tim Osman.
If you tell your children to be afraid of clouds, yeah, that's kind of messed up. I mean, you're trying to train them to what, be agoraphobic?
Human Vibration.
That's the only thing I care about is muscle.
Ab the Fakeologist.
Are you going to see some ladyboys?
Donald Trump.
John, thank you. Great job, John.
Quantum of Conscience.
These people are out of their minds.
You name it. Any of the names that you're familiar with in this corner of internet, I got some clips of them, and I keep building up that clip database, partly for the soundboard, the short clips that are 1, 2, 3 seconds, but also partly the longer clips where I find thought-provoking sections from some of these content creators that I then want to use and reflect on for the JLB Clip Show, which leads me to this. This Clip Show, episode number 17, Movie Magic, which I published a couple of weeks ago, this is available for free to anybody on the free JLB Patreon. So if you already have a Patreon account, you can join and get instant access to this with a couple of clicks. That's all it takes. And if you don't have a Patreon account, they're free to create. And once you create one, all you need is an email address. Once you create one, you can then join the free JLB Patreon list in a couple of clicks. Costs absolutely nothing. And you'll get instant access to this episode, which took me quite a bit of time to put together. It's got clips from Truth Meets, Jeranism, Crow 777, Elon Musk and Joe Rogan, Tim Osmond, Quantum of Conscience, and Christopher Knowles.
We're doomed.
Topics include Serious and Esoterica, Family and Deception, Marriage and Technology, Online Cults and Reality Tunnels, Nikola Tesla, and the so-called evil elites. And so as I've explained before, my plan is to get as many of my YouTube viewers to go and check out that free JLB Patreon list, because the notifications on Patreon still work. If there's a content creator whose work you want to find out about when they publish something new, Patreon still works the way that YouTube used to work.
Sure, I get it.
But now having 1,000, 5,000 subscribers on YouTube is practically useless, because people don't seem to be notified when you publish something new, whereas Patreon does still seem to work. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm promoting this free JLB Patreon, which includes publishing content, which is usually just for the supporters of JonLeBon.com, stuff that takes me hours and hours to put together. I'm publishing it for free to the free JLB Patreon list, which you can join right now. You'll get instant access to this episode, plus like 7 or 8 other episodes, hours and hours of content, thought-provoking in my opinion, but at the very least entertaining, that I think you'll enjoy, in part because it's so full of clips from some of the personalities who you love so dearly. Such as Quantum of Conscience.
These idiots in our truth community.
Human Vibration.
But fuck that moon. What? The moon's fake.
Uncle Ab the Fakeologist.
Do we have any poopologists here?
Tim Osmond, president of the Infinite Plane Society.
Somebody had suggested that fakeologist is Anthony Cumio.
Crow 777.
We are living in a prison planet.
Jeranism.
So we've got a clear-cut shape of the earth. I just think the cult-like behavior is what's scary. If you've seen what's happened to those of us who left, if you heard Dave Weiss, he was talking about them getting behind the plane and switching out the sun or something ridiculous. Eric's 200 proofs have just been destroyed. I personally think the flat earth will not be very big at the end of this year. I think it's going to fall away. They repeat these mantras. You can't tell the shape of the ground by looking at lights in the sky. That's kind of embarrassing.
And so many more. So go and check out that clip show available right now to everybody on that free JLB Patreon list. And if you want to read some thoughtful comments about the conspiracy subculture as it stands today, go and check out this Conspiracy No Pulse subreddit thread, which will also be linked to in the comment section below. And let's go out with some of my favorite clips that I've put together for my soundboard over the past few weeks. And be sure to leave your comments in the comment section below. Yeah, boy, she, man. Shamona.
That sounds like something straight out of Black Mirror, actually.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on?
Fascinating.
They can't disclose that because there ain't nothing to disclose.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And I think that the population here is a lot of people are likely, I'm not going to say soulless, but their souls are essentially negative. Their job here is to cancel out, to negate.
How dare you?